Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Fountain Hills, Arizona, looking at another gorgeous luxury home. And this time, we have a model home by our favorite builder, Toll Brothers. Now, starting on the exterior, you do have the stacked stone along with the stucco family, but then you also have that slope design. So you'll notice that on the outside as well as the inside. This particular model is called the Hoffman, and then it is that contemporary elevation with a basement. Wait till you see that a little bit later on. You are going to have this unique, beautiful water feature. You can imagine the curb appeal, especially when you're driving by this property. Now, right over there is your 3-car garage, but this is a model home. So if this was your primary residence, you would have a driveway leading you to it. Now, as we continue right here, you see the beautiful curb appeal continues this way. You do have this neat area right here, perfect for hanging out. And then of course, if you do want some privacy, you can see some additional features in the backyard. But now let's go ahead and get you right here. Look at this, family. So you do have the pool in the front, but remember, you do have the privacy element. And then wait till you see the incredible views in the backyard, and this will all come full circle for you. Look at the hills that you get. This is the first time I'm out here in Arizona. Absolutely impressed, and I'm excited to get you in some more beautiful properties. Now, you can imagine your family hanging out here, having a great time. As I pan you over here to the left, you do have some sliders. That's gonna lead you right over here to an additional bedroom. We'll see that in just a second. And then you do have your covered front porch. Now, you will notice some wood accents on the inside as well as the outside throughout the property. So just adding a ton of character. And then of course, you do have the iron front door. But without further ado, let's get you inside. All right. So immediately whenever we walk in, this is your foyer. You have this beautiful translucent material light fixture hanging down right over here. I'll turn you around so you can see the front door from the inside, and then we'll go ahead and continue. Beautiful. So right over here, look at that recessed area. You do have that wood slat, adding some nice character to the property. You can add some decor right there if you want to. And then look at this, family. Absolutely stunning. As I pan you up here, look at that. So you do have the wood paneling, that slope design that I mentioned, and then you have 11-foot ceilings in here. In the great room, you're gonna have 14-foot ceilings, and you'll see that a little bit later on. Gorgeous light fixture. You can imagine a full bedroom set in here without any challenges. Now, again, it is a model home, so the way they do stage it will, couple with how they tend to utilize it. So sometimes they may use some spots as design centers or have conferences or meetings. So just keep that in mind as we walk throughout the property. But right here to the right, you do have your built-ins. Look at that inset cabinetry. Then you have stacked cabinets. You'll notice that theme once we continue to the kitchen. And then of course, you got that massive window with your incredible views. Now, right over here, you do have your ensuite. Look at the walk-in shower. You got the Toll imprinted towels here. Toll Brothers, they go above and beyond for not only their model homes, but more importantly, their spec homes, or if you were to build from scratch. So I have a ton of model homes on the channel by Toll Brothers, and I think you may love them just as much. So you have the matte black in here, as you can see, generously sized walk-in shower. I'll turn you around right here. You got your quartz countertops, the matte black, mirror frame and sconce right above there with that arch detail. And then you have the separate walk-in closet here. So you already got the built-ins ready to go. Your chrome rods, as you can see, plenty of storage available and a ton of space to work with. Now, you will notice the ceramic tile throughout the property. And then we'll see a little bit later of some wood, some white oak floors once we head to the basement. But look at this great room, incredible views, absolutely astonishing. I am so impressed with this. Now you are gonna have the floor to ceiling stacked stone fireplace surround. You see the wood paneling on the ceiling again, that slope design, gorgeous oversized pendant lights. Look at that view. I love that. So, being a native of Houston, Texas, you really don't see a lot of hills a lot, right? So being out here, I'm ecstatic. But Massive sliders. You can see how much space you still have. Perfect for entertaining right here. And then of course the great room kitchen combination. So let's go ahead and start over here. You got your quartzite waterfall countertops, and then look at the backsplash. So just really adding some unique character to the property. You got a stainless steel vent hood, stack cabinets again, like I mentioned, and then you see the matte black hardware. Gorgeous. So now right over here, you see your stainless steel Wolf cooktop. You got the 6 burners with the griddle, and then you can see some additional storage right there. Love this. And if you haven't walked into a Toll Brothers model home, it's an experience. That's what I always like to say. You know, from the music, the curated scents, the smell, oh my goodness, it creates that wow factor. And I always love seeing these. Now, right over here, you got your Cove dishwasher. You see the under cabinet lighting on both sides. Right over here, love the space between the island and the counter. So a ton of space if you do have family in here helping you, you know, create a meal, you are good to go. You have the double Wolf oven here, massive refrigerator. You know, we have to open this up. Beautiful. You already got your microwave over here. And then let's see how much storage we still have. Impressive. Now heading over here to our pantry. So you do have the glass pane cabinet fronts. You can see your built-ins. Again, let me know if this is enough space for you for a pantry. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then right underneath the double oven, you see the warming drawer. Gorgeous. Now, if that wasn't enough for you, family, right over here, heading to our dining area. So you see the stack stone accent wall. You got a massive picture window overlooking those incredible hills. And look at this. You can't get much better than that. Now you see the elegant light fixture hanging down right above our dining table. And then you have a wine fridge over here and some additional counter space. Absolutely impressive. Okay, so since we are on this side, let's turn right over here to our first, and yes, I said first, primary suite. You'll see a second one in the basement. Okay, so you got your king size bed right there. Look at that accent wall, family, creating a statement. Reclaimed wood beams right here with the slope design. Then you have that wagon wheel chandelier hanging down. A ton of space. Right over there to the right, you see you have a bar area, perfect for your coffee station. And then you see you have your recessed area. If you didn't have that mirror, maybe you can, you know, put the dresser in there without any challenges, and then just has that discreet look, and then creates more of that roomier feel. But let's stand on this side. You notice the quartzite extends this way. And then if that's not enough, look at the sliders for your private balcony. Very impressive. Let's see if we can get out here. Look at the size out here too. Now, I talked about it previously about having the morning coffee or morning tea, but goodness gracious, you would not want to leave this. All right, so now you see the glass panes surrounding this balcony as well. But then let's go ahead and continue. So you have a sliding door leading you to your ensuite, and let's see how much room we get. Okay, so I'll pan you on this side as well so you get a full scope of the ensuite, and then we'll talk about the materials. Now, before we do forget, I want you to see your towel closet right over here. Got a ton of space. Impressive. Now, you have that rectangular oversized freestanding soaker tub here, and then look at this shower, family. So you got an additional window right there, bringing in that sunlight. You have recessed lights in here, rain shower head, and the matte black shower valve. Right over here to the right is your water closet. And then I'll slowly pan you around over here so you can see the his and hers sinks. So you see quartz in here, your pendant lights, Your porcelain tile accent wall here. Again, you see the accent lighting underneath there, generously spaced. Now, right over here, the first spot we see the white oak floors. This is leading you to your primary closet. You see you have an access point over there leading you to where your garage is. We'll see that in just a second. See the glass panes in the cabinet fronts, which quite frankly, Toll Brothers is, I feel like, one of the pioneers for the model homes that had the glass panes in the cabinet fronts. You know, I'm starting to see it a lot more in some of these model homes as we start to continue, especially going out throughout the country. So let me know what you think about that. But a ton of built-ins ready to go, both sides. And then now heading to your laundry room. Okay, so as you can see, plenty of space for the oversized washer and dryer, all the cabinets that you need, your built-in sink ready to go. And then you head right out here. Don't worry about that. The doors are off the hinges because it is a model home. I get comments about that without fail. And then right over here to the right is your garage. It is locked right now, family. If not, I would have got you in there. But then I'll turn the corner here and then we'll head to our next bedroom. Now, right over here, before you enter in there, that powder bath, perfect for whenever the family comes over. You see you got your pendant lights right above your toilet, quartz countertop, same material for our cabinets, and then that unique wallpaper. You got your coat closet right here. Now, I love this room right here because you have the sliders leading you to your courtyard where you can just hang out and get in the pool without any worries. But look at this. So when you first think about it, you know, they have it staged as a study, but you will see right here that they do have a ensuite as well as a closet. So it is a bedroom, and the study is going to be, we'll see that in just a second, but obviously you wouldn't be disappointed with this incredible view. So if you were to make this a study instead of a bedroom, trust me, I wouldn't blame you. Now you have the oversized picture window. Again, look at that hill surrounding this property. You know, when I took a look at the photos online before I came out here, I really thought it was Photoshop or something. You know, being a Texas boy myself, you don't see this quite often. And when I came out here, oh my goodness, it did not disappoint. Now you have that oversized chandelier hanging down. You see the stacked stone accent wall right there, your built-ins. And of course, in a normal spec home, this would just be, you know, a bare room with the materials that you choose or that's on the spec home that they chose for. But now, right over here, you see your walk-in closet. Got a ton of room to work with. You already got built-ins, and right over here to the left, you got your ensuite. So this one's gonna have that walk-in shower. You got the quartz countertops, that gray, and then again, the same cabinets. Okay, so let's go ahead and head over this way. So there's an additional room right there. It is a study, but I like to classify it. I say it's a flex room because it's very versatile. Now heading out here, look at this, family. Incredible view. Right to the right, you do have an additional smaller model home. I wanted to get you in this one so that way you can see the size of this one and you can be in awe just like I am. But incredible views. You saw this from the primary suite. Plenty of space. You open up these sliders, have that indoor-outdoor living we talk about quite often. And then now heading over here, this is technically our study. Now they have it situated as a gym right here, so you can see how much space you still have in here. So you have your treadmill right there, your Peloton bike, as well as your dumbbells over here. And then look at your built-ins. So we see, you know, the custom cabinetry continues throughout here. So keeping the uniformity. I love that. Now, of course, I welcome your feedback. What would you use this as? Would you use that bedroom that we had seen that was staged as a study? Would you keep that as a study? Or would you make this one the study? Or, you know, quite frankly, a workout room. And then you have some sliders leading you out there. But what you have definitely been waiting for, just like myself, I believe, I'm making an assumption. Let's go ahead and take a look at this basement right here. So initially, when you think about basements, at least me personally, you always think about, more of an afterthought, maybe a man cave or something like that. But it's very impressive to see what they use some of these spaces for. So since we are on this wing right here, let's go ahead and take a look at our next bedroom. You see the sliders here. You have your patio that you get to take advantage of. You got a queen bed, your 2 nightstands. You see the wallpaper, and then you see your area perfect for your dresser. Now you got the wall closet right over here. You still have your built-in, so pretty spacious depending on who is going to be using this. And of course, if you do have the in-laws, they probably want to use that second primary suite. So now you have carpet down here. Again, the quartz countertops, your shower tub combo right over here. And then like that fish gill tile accent wall right there. Beautiful. All right. Now what I'm excited for is this, family. Look at this. Just in time for NFL season right now. As you can see, got some highlights going on, but look at the scope of the room itself. Look at the space that you get. Your full bar area over there, perfect for entertaining. You have some additional sliders, but you'll notice the corner sliders. And then of course, you have a powder bath right here. Love that. Only a few steps away, depending on who's going to be in here quite often. And then you got your storage closet right there. But man, this is astonishing. With the white oak floors, you open those up, and goodness, especially around 7 or 8 at nighttime, this is going to be the perfect place to be. Now heading right over here, look at this full bar. So you see the breakfast area or the breakfast bar. You got your ice maker, your beverage fridge, floating shelves over here, an additional sink overlooking that backyard oasis. And when I say that particular term, this is what I'm talking about. Then you got the elegant pendant lights hanging down right above the bar area. Gorgeous. And then now heading to your second primary suite. Love that. So right over here, you see that. You got your recess area again. You got some additional sliding doors, pendant lights hanging down right above our night tables, and then your queen size bed. But of course, you could easily fit a king size bed without any worries. You still have additional space over here. And then now heading to the primary bath. Look at that. So now, again, you see the accent lighting right behind the LED mirror. You got dual sinks right here. Quartz countertops. I'll show you the closet in just a second. You have an egress window right here. But goodness gracious, this walk-in shower is bigger than the other one we had just seen. Got your shower bench. Look at that. Rain shower head. You can add some more shower heads if you want to create that steam effect. This one is zero threshold. The one we saw upstairs wasn't. I'm panning you downwards right here. It's that nice minimalist look. Straight ahead, you got your water closet. And then let's see the space you get in here. Beautiful. So if you've been out to Arizona, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't taken a trip out here, I highly recommend putting that on your bucket list. In fact, we're planning to go to the Grand Canyon in the next week or so. So I'm excited for that. And then of course, if you do have any recommendations of spots to, take the kiddos, I'd love to hear your input, at least your experience. But impressive, last but certainly not least, let's go ahead and take a look outside. Wow. Now this is what I'm talking about, a house that caters to all styles or all personality types. If you are an entertainer or you are an introvert and you really don't entertain at all, you get to take advantage of your amenities out here. So stacked stone columns here. Look at that. You see your outdoor fireplace with the Rasmussen fireballs here. Love that. You got turf back here, and then look at that. You got your pergola. You see the glass panes as far as, surrounding this patio area. And perfect to have an outdoor meal. Look at all the cactuses. I was extremely surprised about the cactuses. That's real. That's real life out here. Now, there's no better spot to put the grill than this one right here, family. Look at this. You open this up and you get to see that too. And then if that's not enough, look at that. So you got your nice little spa area, your little jacuzzi, you got an additional water feature, some more space. Look at that. You even got some massage chairs ready to go. Oh my goodness. What more could you really ask for, right? But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful model home by Toll Brothers right here in Arizona. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular model. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.